All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into something I know we all use, hotel booking sites. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or just getting started planning that dream vacation, you've got to find the right place to stay right. We've got this great article called Best Hotel Booking Site Full of Tips and Tricks. But we want to go deeper, like how do these sites actually work, and how do we pick the right one, and how can we get those killer deals?
Yeah, I think it's easy to just kind of use them without really thinking, but knowing how they operate behind the scenes can make your trips way smoother.
For sure. It's more than just photos and star ratings, ready? So let's back up a bit. What exactly are hotel booking sites? How do they do their thing?
Basically, they're like super matchmakers connecting us with hotels all over the world. They gather all this info, pictures, descriptions, prices, reviews from other travelers, and you can book straight through them.
So convenience is key.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes a site stand out? What should we look for?
Gotta have a site that's easy to use, especially if you're not super techy. You want things laid out clearly, easy search, and good filters so you can really narrow down your options, like by price or location or specific things you need.
Ah, filters. Lifesavers when you're picky like me.
Oh, for sure. Imagine filtering for only hotels that are pet-friendly or even have EV charging stations, that kind of thing.
Okay, game changer. But what about reviews? Are they actually helpful?
They can be super valuable, but you gotta read them with a critical eye, right? A good site will show you verified reviews and maybe even let you sort by traveler type, like are they solo, family, business trip?
That makes sense. A business traveler cares about different stuff than a family, right? So are about ease of use and reviews. What else matters?
Gotta think about price. You wanna find sites known for consistently good deals and discounts. Some even have price match guarantees, so you know you're getting the best possible rate.
That's reassuring. Prices can be all over the place. And how about the variety of places to stay?
The best sites have everything, from hostels if you're on a budget, all the way up to those fancy resorts. So think about how you like to travel, your style, and what you can afford. Basic room or the whole shebang.
It's like matching your personality to the right hotel.
What?
Okay, we're focusing on UK sites, right?
Okay.
Any big names come to mind?
Absolutely. In the UK, you've got Tripadvisor, Booking.com, and Global Tour. Tripadvisor is known for tons of user reviews. Booking.com has a huge selection. And Global Tour is great if you want to book flights and activities all at once.
Nice. We've got our contenders. How do we actually pick the right site for us?
Well, even before you start looking, got to figure out your needs and what's most important, right? Where are you going? What kind of comfort level do you want? Amenities, and of course, your budget.
Makes sense, like a roadmap for your hotel hunt. Speaking of budgets, those pesky hidden fees, ugh. How can we avoid getting hit with extra charges we didn't expect?
Transparency is key. Good sites will tell you upfront about things like resort fees or cleaning fees. Some even let you filter your search to only show places with NO hidden fees, which is a huge time saver.
Ah, that's brilliant. No surprises at checkout. Now, the age-old question, mobile app or website, what are the pros and cons?
Apps are super convenient. You can browse and book on the go, get deal alerts, manage your bookings all from your phone. But sometimes you want that bigger picture, and that's where websites come in. More space to compare, use those detailed filters, get a really good overview.
So it depends what you're after. Sometimes you just need something quick. Sometimes you want to really dig in. Okay,
Yeah,
talk to me about deals. Timing must be everything, right?
absolutely. Booking ahead, especially for busy times or popular spots, often gets you a better price. On the other hand, if you can travel during the shoulder season, that time between peak and off-peak, you can save big that way too.
So early birds and shoulder season pros. I've heard about loyalty programs. Are they worth it or just marketing hype?
They can be super valuable, especially if you stick with certain hotel chains. Think of it like this. Some programs give you a free night after 10 stays. That's a big discount. You can also earn points for upgrades, free breakfast, all kinds of perks.
Wow, that's tempting. Rewards for loyalty. And should we be checking multiple sites for the best price?
I know it sounds like a pain, but comparing prices across different sites is essential. Rates can change all the time. You'd be surprised at the difference. There are even websites that compare prices from loads of booking sites, making it super easy to find the best deal.
That's maybe like a personal shopping assistant for travel.
Exactly. Okay, let's not forget about cancellation policies. Super important, but often overlooked. Imagine booking a non-refundable room and then something happens and your plans change.
Ugh, the worst. How do we avoid that stress?
Gotta understand those policies. There are generally three types. Flexible ones where you can cancel for free up to a certain date. Non-refundable, which means no refund if you cancel. And partially refundable, where you get some money back, but usually with a fee.
Okay, so different options for different situations. Where do we find this info before we click book?
Most sites will show it clearly on the hotel's page, usually in the terms and conditions section.
Got it. Read the fine print for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go back to user reviews for a sec. We know they're important, but how do we tell the real ones from the fakes?
Look for patterns and details. Are loads of people mentioning amazing service or cleanliness, or is it just generic stuff? Pay attention to the tone and look for reviews that mention good and bad things. That's usually more honest.
It's like being a detective. We're trying to get a real sense of the place.
Right. Now let's dig into some of the more technical stuff behind these sites. Yeah, like one thing is, how do these sites decide what hotels to show you first? Some put the cheapest ones on top. Others might prioritize places with high ratings or those closest to, tourist spots.
That's interesting. So there's a method to the madness. Like if you know how the site thinks, you can get better results.
Exactly. Any other behind-the-scenes stuff we should be aware of? Well, sometimes sites have special deals with certain hotel chains, so those might show up more often. Or they might favor hotels that give them a bigger cut of the booking, commissions and such.
So there's a whole business side to it too. It's like a whole ecosystem, right?
Totally. Knowing this stuff can make you a more informed traveler.
For sure. We talked about those annoying hidden fees earlier. Any specific ones we got to watch out for?
Resort fees are a big one. They sneak those in at the last minute, and they cover things like Wi-Fi, the gym, even the pool sometimes. And cleaning fees are common too, especially if you're renting a whole apartment or house.
So don't just look at the initial price. Got to read all the details. Are there any ways to avoid these fees?
Some sites have filters just for that. No resort fees, no cleaning fees, things like that. And always check the reviews. Sometimes other travelers will mention hidden charges they got hit with.
Good point. Those reviews are like a treasure trove of info if you know how to use them. Speaking of reviews, how can we really use them to make sure we have a great trip?
Don't just focus on the overall score. Read what people are actually saying. What do they say about the staff? Cleanliness? Is it noisy? Are there any themes that give you a sense of the place?
Like you're not just looking for stars, you're trying to get a feeling for the hotel, right?
Exactly. What are some red flags we should look out for in reviews? Be careful of reviews that sound too generic, almost like an ad, and look for ones that mention both good and bad things. That usually means they're more honest.
Yeah, finding that balance. Not too positive, not too negative, just real. We talked about mobile apps versus websites. When would you recommend using one over the other?
Apps are great for when you need a room fast, like last-minute bookings. Or if you're on the go and see a flash sale, you can jump on it right away. They're also good for managing your trips and getting those deal alerts.
So for spontaneous trips or when you got to act quickly, apps are the way to go. When are websites better?
If you have time to really research and compare, a website is better. You've got more space to see everything, use those filters, and get a full picture.
Like a wider perspective.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about those amazing travel deals. We talked about booking ahead and the shoulder season. Any other secrets to share?
Flexibility is key. If you can travel on weekdays or during less popular times, prices are usually lower.
So think outside the typical weekend getaway. And those loyalty programs, can they really save us money?
Definitely. Some programs offer special rates just for members, way cheaper than what everyone else sees. Plus, you've got those points for free nights, upgrades, all that good stuff.
Like a hidden perk. Any tips for making the most of those loyalty programs?
Sign up for their email so you don't miss out on any special deals or bonus points. And if you're close to getting a free night or something, try to book all your stays with that same chain so you reach your goal faster.
Like a strategy, got to play the game. We talked about comparing prices. Any tools or tricks for that?
Remember those comparison websites we mentioned? They're your best friend. You can see prices from tons of sites all in one place. You can even set up alerts so you get notified when prices drop for your dates.
Oh, wow. That's super helpful. Like having a price-watching robot.
Exactly. Let's go back to cancellation policies for a minute. How can we be absolutely sure we understand everything before we book?
Yeah, don't want any nasty surprises later.
Read that policy carefully. Look at the deadline for canceling, how much you'll get back if you do, and any fees. If anything's unclear, don't be afraid to call the booking site or the hotel directly and ask.
Better safe than sorry. Any red flags to look for in cancellation policies?
Watch out for policies that are super strict or really complicated. Look for something that fits your travel style. If you often have to change plans last minute, maybe a flexible policy is worth paying a bit extra for.
It's about finding that balance between cost and peace of mind.
Hmm.
Okay, back to user reviews. We've talked about how to analyze them, but how can we use them to find truly special places and avoid the duds?
Look for reviews that go beyond the surface, you
Yeah.
know? Find ones that share actual experiences, stories, details that give you a real feel for the atmosphere and the service.
It's like putting together a puzzle, using all those little pieces to see the whole picture.
Right. Any specific words or phrases we can search for to filter those valuable insights.
Good question. Like what would help us find those hidden gems?
You could try searching for terms like hidden gem itself or local experience or exceeded expectations. You can also look for specific things that are important to you, like quiet rooms or friendly staff.
Ah, so it's like using a magnifying glass to focus on what matters most to us as travelers. Speaking of which, there's this really cool concept we haven't touched on yet.
It's all about your travel personality. It's not just finding a good deal, it's about finding the right fit for you.
Oh, that's so true. Like knowing yourself as a traveler is key.
Yeah. Are you the type who wants luxury, like being pampered? Or are you more budget conscious, looking for those authentic experiences? Do you want to go on adventures off the beaten path? Or do you prefer, like, sticking to familiar places?
I think I'm a bit of everything, honestly. How does knowing our travel personality help us pick the right hotel?
Once you know what kind of traveler you are, you can make choices that fit. Like, if you're all about luxury, you might want a hotel with amazing service, fancy restaurants, maybe a spa. You're willing to spend a bit more for those things.
So it's about curating the whole experience,
Yeah.
making it really you. What about budget travelers?
If budget's your thing, you'll probably focus on places that give you the most bang for your buck. Maybe a well-located hostel or a cute little guest house. Clean, comfy, but no need for all the bells and whistles.
Makes sense. And what about adventure seekers?
They want to experience something new, something different, right? So maybe they choose a rustic cabin in the mountains or a homestay in a busy city. It's about unique experiences, not luxury.
It sounds like matching our hotel to our travel personality can make the whole trip so much better.
Definitely. When your accommodation feels right for you, the whole journey is more enjoyable. You're not just visiting a place, you're really experiencing it in a way that makes sense for you.
We've covered so much today, from how booking sites work to reading reviews to finding those deals, and now this whole idea of travel personalities. I feel like I can plan my next trip like a pro.
Remember, traveling is all about discovering new things, both about the world and about yourself.
So true. Everyone listening, go out there, embrace your travel personality, check out different booking sites, and find those hidden gems that will make your next trip amazing. And be sure to share your experiences with us. Let us know where your travel personality takes you and what you discover along the way. Happy travels, everyone!